Did you know that Bill Gates wants to cut down all the trees and bury them?
Yeah. What a beautiful person he is.
Well, you have to laugh, y'all, because it's true.
It's reality.
All right, this is the hard-hitting financial advice that's coming to us from Forbes magazine. This once vaunted publication, a beacon of capitalism, if there ever was such a thing. I'm really starting to question how long ago capitalism died, probably right before the Civil War. Capitalism has been dead, but check this out. You cannot make this up, and this is Babylon B level satire, art imitating life, imitating art. But, okay, this is Forbes. And what we did, y'all, if you want a little tip so you don't have to pay Forbes and all that cool stuff.
Oh, boy.
So you can cut and paste.
Hopefully Forbes isn't listening.
A Forbes article into the Brave browser, and then use the button that takes the ads out of it, and that will allow you
to bypass
to read the article. So I'm going to pull this up on my browser. Y'all are already looking at it. Okay. And this is a real Forbes article. This is not a joke. July 28th. You can check it for yourself.
So it's today.
The inmates.
July.
No.
Oh, July. Sorry.
Yeah. This came up in my Twitter feed, and as an advertisement, so this is one of those ads on the Twitter.
Wow.
Chop down.
Wow.
I'm going to have to read this like 3 or 4. Chop down forests to save the planet? Maybe not as crazy as it sounds. So if you understand the term gaslighting and what it means and kind of where it came from, Kodama Systems is betting it can reduce carbon dioxide in the air by chopping down and burying trees. Now, if only Uncle Sam would get on board with tax credits too. Because that's the way the scam works. First, you have to have Wall Street come up with some crackhead idea. Then you have to get subsidies from the Guberment, and that's how the crony capitalist system works, okay? That's how Vivek Panastrami, or whatever his name is, the guy that's the Indian dude that's running for president. That's how he did his whole biotech scam thing. And that's why they're all in on it together, y'all. All the billionaires, including Vivek and including Orange Man, they're all in on it. They're scamming you. But here we go. Bill Gates and other investors are betting Kodama Systems can reduce carbon dioxide in the air by chopping down and burying trees.
So they're going to try to reduce CO2 by chopping down trees that consume CO2.
Once again, okay, so we are the CO2 they want to eliminate. And currently...
Yeah, we're like long game.
Yeah, we're the CO2 that they want to eliminate.
Yeah.
And currently...
they have to eliminate all the rest of the stuff. And
mankind, okay, so man and trees have been cohabitating nicely. We can forest, we can actively manage the forest and make it better. We know this from permaculture and edges. And if we interact with creation, it can perform and create abundance. And that abundance in turn will sequester carbon, and that carbon in turn will make the trees bigger and larger. And then in turn, we can cut them down. We can use them for building supplies,
firewood.
We can use them for heat. We can use them. And this is a real, when I say renewable resource, that
beyond renewable.
That has been, that's a bastardized term that has been reinvented and recoined and reshaped. But in the realest sense of the word, a tree is a legitimate renewable resource that can give, and you cut it down, you can replant it, and you plant its own seeds, and you can foster this thing, you can manage it, and everybody wins, and the trees sequester carbon. And even if you're buying into all their scam and their sham, this still
I think they want the planet to be like a desolate wasteland and make it like kind of look like Mars.
well,
you
we're
know?
going to Mars,
Just
so
like totally desolate.
That's why we got to go to Mars, because the end game
we got to inhabit it.
is to
Inhabit Mars.
They want
There you go.
They want Earth to look like Mars.
Correct.
And then that way our only choice will be to go to Mars.
Mm.
And then Mars will still look like Mars.
It'll just be really easy to reenact
And
the
now-
movie
yeah.
or the videotapes going to Mars.
And now that India and China have both went to the moon.
Hey, there you go.
Cool story, bro. Like,
Awesome.
great, very poor CGI. You would think with all the money printing that at least the Chinese and the Indian countries could come up
They'd
with some
have-
decent CGI.
No,
that
it's
looked
like what did it
was
look
real.
like? Black and white,
almost.
Really?
Yeah, it was very
like
sad.
clay.
I don't want to get
clay
off track. No
figures,
claymation.
no claymation.
No, very bad CGI, very like glossy
Nice.
and not
Okay.
even very
Back
poorly
on
done.
track.
Okay.
Back on track.
A year ago,
Here you go.
Merritt Jenkins moved from Boston to Twain Harte, California,
Oh,
a speck of 2,500 souls in the foothills of the Sierra Nevadas. On his morning commute, he stops at Alicia's Sugar Shack for a breakfast sandwich, scrambled eggs on rye with avocado, because he's just a crunchy kind of guy, and he's a hipster that eats organic stuffs.
yeah.
Then he heads to a 10-acre patch of woods in the Stanislaus. I know you guys are going to beat me up on my pronunciation. It looks like Stanislaus National Forest.
Why not?
There, his startup, Kodama Systems, is testing and perfecting its 25-foot long, 17-ton semi-autonomous timber harvesting machine. Loggers use such machines known as skidders to grab tons of cut trees and debris and drag them out of the woods. Kodama's version is designed to do the job even at night with fewer workers. Of course, you wouldn't want to employ people. You want to do this with autonomous
Absolutely
bots. You want to systematically destroy planet Earth with autonomous bots.
Correct.
Kodama's version is designed to do the job even at night with fewer workers, using satellite connectivity and advanced LiDAR, light detection and ranging cameras.
So he can do it in his bed.
The same type that are used on self-driving cars, because they work so great. To monitor the work remotely. It isn't easy. Yeah. There's lots of texture to the trees. Every 10 feet of skid trails is slightly different, says Jenkins, 35.
What does that even mean?
It means he's trying to scam people out of more money.
It's like textured
This is
trees
difficult.
and this in the skid
Well,
trails.
because it's all
Was
run
that-
by cameras and, autonomous AI programs and all that stuff.
That seems really random, but
Yeah.
whatever. Skid trails and
Yeah. Well, they want these things to move autonomously in the woods, and it's hard because trees aren't like a wall. You know what I mean? That's what
or
it's
like
saying.
planted perfectly
Yes,
straight.
exactly.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
lots of it's organic.
Mm.
Yeah, but we
Hate
don't
that.
like that stuff. Organic
No.
stuff isn't good, so let's eliminate
Terrible.
all organic things.
Mm.
So like these trees that are textury, let's cut them down and bury them under the ground.
And then we'll
it's
just
safe.
stick plastic trees
Yeah.
in their place.
Yeah, and so what we'll do is we'll have 5G towers everywhere, and we'll paint them to look like pine trees.
Correct.
And then that way nobody will notice that all
And
the
then
trees
each
are buried.
town will need their
under
like
the ground.
CO2 collection machine too. They'll need that.
Oh, don't
And-
give me. It's in here. Okay, great. Why did you have to bring that up?
Wait, it's actually in here.
It's in here.
No
Okay.
way.
But logging in the dark isn't the most intriguing part of the plans at Kodama, however you want to say that, which has raised $6.6 million in seed funding from Bill Gates, Breakthrough Energy, and others.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
When he's not trying to block out the sun,
When he's not drinking his own poop water,
he's cutting down trees and burying them in the ground.
and he's not like coating vegetables and fruit with microplastics. He's cutting trees down and burying them
Oh, my word.
under the ground.
This guy has like a mission in life to like destroy the planet.
He's a devil.
Yes.
To help slow climate change and to reap saleable carbon offsets. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh, boy.
And maybe someday tax credits too. Yes, the conventional idea is to plant trees to soak up carbon dioxide from the air and to then sell credits to corporations, private jet owners, and others who need or want to offset their emissions. But scientists say burying trees can reduce global warming as well, particularly if those trees would otherwise end up burning or decaying, spewing their stored carbon into the air. You know what happens when trees decay? It's called mulch, and it creates like awesome soil for growing awesome food.
Yeah.
Okay, and you activate the microbiome in the soil. So what they're saying is, one, we can't have trees burning down like in firewood where mankind heats their homes in a renewable way, right? In a renewable energy
because
way.
they're going to make that illegal.
We can't have them burning down. I don't know what they're going to spray with their dew weapons if there's no trees.
Their Mountain Dew weapons?
And their Maui Mountain Dew
blast.
It's unbelievable, y'all. And this is like the cat that wrote this piece, Christopher Hellman Mayonnaise, whatever, Mayonnaise for Brains. He's writing this, and there's a handful of people that read this that don't think this is like full retard. Absolutely,
he's gone full retard,
full clown world, like insanity. Yes, the conventional idea is to plant trees. Oh, that's what. Oh. California's enormous 2020 wildfires drove home the risks to air, property, and life posed by overgrown forest. Okay, y'all, are you getting the setup here? See, so they start all these fires, whether it's in California, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in Maui, whether it's in Greece. There's fires everywhere, y'all, that are magically just
popping up,
falling out of the sky like laser beams. All right,
literally
everywhere on every continent, right? Everywhere. And then they're like, those darn pesky trees, they catch on fire.
Except for the ones in Maui. The solution
is we need to cut them all down and bury them under the ground. If these wildfires have taught us anything, is that we don't need trees, except trees actually soak up the CO2 that we've been conning everybody that we need to get rid of. But we can't do that anymore.
They stop so much stuff. They stop flooding and erosion.
Erosion. They create soil. They create biomass. They create the mycorrhizal infrastructure for
a canopy,
abundance
for shade,
of life, shade,
all types of stuff. It goes on and on.
And whatever these phony, fake, supposed credits and offsets. One, they are a complete mechanism of a completely synthetic system with people with completely synthetic brains that cannot think a rational. This is utter postmodern, beyond nonsense, and it's just hard. It's hard to even mock the stupidity.
It really is.
And if you can't see these rags as propaganda nonsense, this is just insane stuff. The orange skies in San Francisco were an infection point. Now the story resonates, says Jimmy Voorhees, head of biomass utilization and policy at Kodama. The alarm bells are sounding even louder this year as Canadian wildfires have spread dangerous air conditions to New York, Washington District of Criminals, and Chicago.
Do they even know how many trees there are on the planet? There's like a lot of trees.
More to bury.
Oh, maybe they'll just like push them into the ocean.
Paul Bunyan 2.0. After thinning trees up to 60 feet tall, Kodama will inter
Paul
them
Bunyan
on more
2.0.
arid land outside the forest. To help address the problem, the U.S. Forest Service aims to thin out 70 million acres of western forest, mostly in California, over
That's
the
a
next
lot.
decade, extracting more than 1 billion tons of bone-dry biomass. It is customary after such forest thinning for logs of marketable size to go to sawmills, with most of the rest piled up and later burned under controlled conditions. Kodama wants to bury the leftovers instead in earthen vaults designed to maintain dry and anoxic or oxygen free, which is anaerobic, right? Because you know what dry and an anaerobic condition does? Nothing.
Literally,
This
nothing.
junk will never
Never
biodegrade. It'll never do what it was designed to do to complete the cycle and
Look at
create.
that. Conditions and protect the wood from rotting or
They're
burning.
going to protect the wood from rotting or burning.
Yeah.
And what people really need to do
What the heck?
is to protect the world from these rotting skulls of punky wood that these morons like the retard that wrote this article and these scammers like Bill Gates and Merritt Jenkins, this moron. Dude. He's like, we got some suckers.
Hurts your brain, man.
And this is why Wall Street is a total scam. Everything on Wall Street's a scam, y'all. It's all a wealth transfer, and it's all about taking yo money and putting it in their pocket. And if you continue to invest in these 401ks, soon to be 200.5s and all this stuff, you're going to learn, okay? You're going to learn, and plenty of people have been warning about this, and all you have to do is read an article like this in this supposed financial rag, right? And read the logic that is not here. Along with the VC seed money, Kodama has already received $1.1 million in grants. Oh, free tax money from California's Forest Fire Agency and others. These are how all of these supposed tech startups work. This is how Elon has made his billions between Project Blackjack and then all of his tax credits, his $5.3 billion worth of tax credits that Tesla got, you know, when he bought the idea off the guys that actually really invented it, and he made it profitable through government welfare and Project Blackjack, the military industrial complex and all that stuff. That's how all this stuff works, you know. Elon isn't coming to create free speech on X either. So eventually, Kodama wants to cut down and bury more than 5,000 tons of trees each year.
Hooray.
How can we take a real product and real assets that is truly renewable, and how can we completely devalue it so that it holds no value and it won't improve soil, it won't provide, but it'll just become a literal trash heap. Yeah. It's going to become a trash heap that they're going to make it so it won't even biodegrade like it's supposed. Did y'all see the recent article that just came out in the last couple of days of how straws?
I didn't get to read it.
How these new straws are more harmful than plastic straws. And all. This is the way all this stuff works.
Shocker.
Y'all. Everything, the way they scale and structure this stuff is so that it is more damaging and harmful. A Dartmouth grad with degrees in both engineering and environmental studies, Jenkins started selling used robotic equipment while earning a master's degree in robotics at Carnegie Mellon. Then he confounded a company that uses machine learning to help farmers analyze soil. So this guy that supposedly used machine learning to analyze soil is the same guy that's going to hermetically bury trees so that they don't break down and create beautiful, perfect soil with a biome, with a soil biome.
That's like the most expensive way to bury a tree too.
Yeah, it's the most expensive way, and it's the most
have to make it airtight,
harmful, damaging way.
Yeah.
They're going to do it using plastic tarps,
and
everything. I promise you.
Oh yeah, the most harmful.
Yeah, and they're going to
toxic
use
materials.
petrol based,
Yep.
whatever. This is
Yep.
the way they do everything, just so that they can sell credits. This is such hogwash. It's insane. But in 2019, while earning an MBA at MIT, he concluded that there was more opportunity in forestry than in the crowded ag tech field. He backed away from the AI company and spent months with loggers to understand how they use equipment. And by 2021 had settled on forestry robotics, convinced that labor shortages would drive demand. There's not enough workforce, he says. We'll need new training and new technologies to meet the Forest Service clearing goals. He also saw another big gap in the industry, what to do with all that biomass. He had heard about biomass vaults from Yale's Carbon Containment Lab. Then mutual friends introduced him to Voorhees, a 33-year-old mountaineer, geologist, and earth science engineer.
Oh, good.
With an MS from Dartmouth. It's all this appeal to scientism and authority and worthless degrees. This is what worthless degrees get you. Several million degrees. These guys
because the interior of the Earth is extremely hot. Million degrees.
Several million degrees.
Several million degrees. These are the geniuses we're working with to cool the planet, who had become obsessed with the idea of reclaiming old mines as biomass burial sites. They joined forces. The notion of burying trees sounds simple and low-tech. It's not, particularly when compared
we're the government.
with the convoluted carbon capture technology now being developed to pull CO2 from the air. Yeah, these crazy carbon scrubbers. Thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, the Democrats passed in 2022, companies like Occidental Petroleum and ExxonMobil could qualify for tax credits of $85 per ton of CO2. You see how the scam works? What does the Inflation Reduction Act that the Democrats passed have to do with carbon sequestration, carbon period,
Then they get these
or big oil?
They get these big machines. They're going to try to suck the CO2 out of the air. Then they're going to be left with all this toxic waste. And what the heck do they do with it? They pump it into the ground.
Well, they're conflating in this article because what they're referencing right now is they are referencing the CO2 sequestration that they're attempting to do right now, right? And then they're going to sequester this in a liquid form and pump it into the ground. And it's completely toxic.
Interesting.
In the form they're capturing it. And then they're going to deep well it into the ground, just like they did with the pollution from East Palestine.
Which that won't ever mess with our
It'll
aquifer.
never come back to the surface.
Never.
It'll never pollute the water.
Never.
You know, these morons. And you got all these idiots in the district of criminals that listen to these idiots. The IRA further incentivizes some of these projects with tax credits equal to 30% or more upfront capital invested. So you see how this synthetic, artificial
Nuts.
investment game, and this is absolutely not capitalism. This certainly isn't laissez-faire capitalism. This, just like Bill Gates is not some self-made man. He's a plant, and he, just look at who his parents are. Same thing with Elon. All these guys are usual suspects. None of these guys that play at the top of the tech pyramid are self-made. They're all groomed, they're all captured, and they all play their part. And they are just talking heads for a larger conglomerate of either the banking cartel or these elite bloodlines that are pulling all the strings, ultimately directed by Satan himself. But it's so wild. And the reason that we want to point these things out is it's not just the food that's synthetic and manipulated and toxic. Most of postmodern thought is toxic, right? It's void of history. It's revisionist history. It's completely toxic. It's totally and purposefully destructive to the point where, oh, look at the beautiful tree. No, wait a minute. That tree would be
Bad
better
tree.
if it was chopped down and buried under the ground in a plastic bag where it couldn't hurt anybody. For real, y'all.
Sounds like you
now
need to go
trees,
to college
Now trees are scary.
to learn something like that.
Trees are scarier than white people. Almost.
Hey, almost. They
So-
don't talk, so
So they're going to replace
if they could talk, then they would be scary.
the green people. Are tree friends.
Mm.
But don't worry, the Greys are coming to help us now that we're communicating with aliens. Donald
Correct.
Trump is working out a deal with the QAnon nonsense and the hopium, and smoke some good hopium. It's crazy. Well, y'all, just wanted to bring you some more amazing facts from the postmodern clown world that is 2.0. And
Don't cut down your trees and bury them.
And we do love and appreciate y'all. We
Yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
for all the orders that are coming in. And if you are looking for beef report, please head on over to TheTexasBoys.com. We're still taking deposits for next month's orders.
Yeah.
And then also check out our coffees and teas and candles and other organic like and such as and all that good stuff. We're gonna have some new. James continues to grow the product line. We're gonna
Yeah.
have some really cool.
Also, another big thank you to everybody that went over and donated at the Amish farmer.
Yeah, for the Fisher family.
Fisher family. Always forget their
That
last
Gifts
name.
and Go is up over $31,000.
Nuts.
And when we first posted that, it was at $5,000. So that's how powerful
Community.
just the
Dude,
community
it's
is.
awesome.
Sharing, resharing. Thank you so much for all of that.
Yes.
It does help. It doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate it. They appreciate it.
100%.
And the next time when it's the next guy, he's going to appreciate it. We all need to stick together, y'all. If you can't see
time.
that they like the CIA pays money for guys like Hellman's Mayonnaise to print articles that say trees bad. We need to we can't burn them. We need to cut them down and bury them under the ground to destroy the soil, to destroy the environment. We need to destroy the environment to save the environment. It's much like when George W. Bush, that's what it was.
What was it?
Trick me
Oh,
once.
yeah,
Shame on you.
That's what it was.
Trick me twice. Won't be fooled again.
Okay, when we get off,
We're
of
going to
here,
have to play that soundbite like apparently
A
every
million
video
times,
we
yeah.
do now. But I
That's
just
what
remembered
it
it again.
was.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
man.
We talked about that. But all right, y'all. We love and appreciate y'all. And please subscribe to the Fearless Podcast.
Yeah.
And
We talk way more freely over there. So
yes, it's nice and
it's
open
nice and open.
platform.
Yeah.
And right now we have really awesome guests lined up. We have Texas Slims lined up in a couple weeks. Simeon from previously the Swedish Homestead is going to be on. Really exciting.
Allison Morrow.
Allison Morrow is going to be on, and we're continuing to line up guests for awesome interviews
Very
where we
exciting.
can speak freely about all the things that we love and enjoy and share. And we'll see you over there.
All right.
Have a
See
great
y'all
day.
later.
See you on the next
Bye-bye.
video. Bye.